Morning, everyone. Well, it's morning for me. I'm sure we're all on different time zones. I am going to dive straight in and just talk a little bit about what somatic healing is, and then guide you through a short technique that will help to release any stagnant energies. And we will also be doing some EFTP or EFT, if anybody has heard of that. If you haven't, I'll explain that for you as well. So, I'm sure you've been doing a lot of embodiment today, which is going to be really useful because for somatic work, we really need to come into our bodies. So I'm just going to take a moment with you to ask you to just close down the eyes. And I'm sure you're very embodied from your yin yoga. And I just want you to really focus on drawing your breath into the base of your belly. So closing down the eyes, I'm sure you're feeling very relaxed already. If not, no worries. Just accept and observe whatever there is for you here today. So really focus on pulling that breath down into the base of the stomach. And once you get there, just start to observe what comes up for you in the silence. And just really sit and observe the silence from this seat of observation in the base of your belly. Any discomfort, any comfort, any peace, any chaos. Just really allow all of it to be here in this moment, right now, today. Okay. So I can't see many of you, but I can see a couple of you. When you're ready, just want you to gently open the eyes, and whether your camera's on or off, just look either forward or at the screen and continue to observe anything that came up from that silence. Okay. So just to explain to you a little bit about what we're doing when we're doing the sitting with the silence is simply to really tap into the truth of what we might be feeling. So when meditations are consistently guided, we can lose sight of what we're actually feeling, and it can even become an avoidance. So the somatic work that I do in one-on-one sessions is quite deep. It can be very uncomfortable, really visceral releases, usually in the seat of our belly. We hold on to a lot, which is why I asked you to come into that space. And it can be very subtle as well. There's different layers. So parts of it can feel comfortable and peaceful, other parts can feel slightly uncomfortable. How are we with sitting with silence? That's a reflection question for you to just ponder on. So if you do have a journal or a notebook, I know I've just joined, so I'm not sure whether you do have that available, but if you do, that might be a question for you to reflect on after. How are you with sitting with the silence? Whether that's with others, with yourself, is it awkward, uncomfortable? Is it nourishing? Is it quite comfortable for you? So that's kind of our first question. And thank you, Alex. I can just see that's been popped into the chat as well for you there. So, how are you with sitting with the silence? So, this is kind of the first step of any somatic release, is to really sit and be, and whether that's connecting with somebody that you're doing that with or with yourself. I want to show you today some things that you can practice on your own, so you can really take these tools away with you, as well as guiding through you a release today. So do feel free to take notes, and perhaps we'll have some ideas in the chat as well for you to refer to after. Okay. So now that we've done the first seat of exploration, I'm going to take you through a sensation body scan, which again works with somatic. So just to explain to you, somatic means anything to do with the body. Okay, so somatic release works with purely the sensations that we're feeling. So what's the difference between perhaps, let's say, a talking therapy session and a somatic release session? Because this will help you as well to come deeper into whatever it is you're feeling. Any kind of talk therapy works with the brain, okay? So you might be sharing stories or what you're feeling, and you'll be verbalizing that. You'll be sharing your perception of that event or how it is that you're feeling. When we work with somatic release, we're almost cutting off the head. So different traditions and cultures call that different things, but it's the severing of the head, it's the severing of the mind, not to disconnect, but simply for the purpose of just focusing on the body for that release. And you drop all stories. So, a mantra that I'm going to talk you through before we do the guiding session is drop the story and just feel. So, I don't mind popping that in the chat as well, or if somebody wants to just pop that in, that'd be great. So drop the story and just feel. So that's going to be your first mantra when I'm guiding you through the release. Okay. Any stories that come up, simply for the purpose of this session, I want you to practice just dropping it completely. So you understand the reason behind that, which will help you to go deeper as well. When animals experience trauma, they physically shake this off. So they physically shake, and their bodies will move through all sorts of motions and releases and sounds. And they move through trauma much faster than us as humans. And as humans has evolved, we've developed a larger prefrontal and neocortex, which means that we create a lot of stories and shame and judgment around what's happened. So if we have experienced trauma, our neocortex goes a little bit wild and it starts creating all of these stories about what happened, and we can get quite stuck up here, which can be a really painful place to be if we have experienced traumas. So just a reminder to go easy on yourself if anything does come up, because the body can be a very uncomfortable place to be when we have experienced any trauma. If it does get too uncomfortable for you when I'm guiding you into the body, then please choose something in your surroundings to focus on. So I've got a plant over there, or even the floor or the ceiling or out a window, anything that provides you with some comfort. Ultimately, I want you to feel comfortable. It is a short session today, so you can take these tools away with you. But for the purpose of this activity, please do make sure that you're feeling safe. So if you need to just touch something on the outside, if it gets too much when we're going inside, then please do that as well. Okay, but dropping the story, as I just explained to you, is going to help us to come deeper into our body, and we'll do a little bit of shaking at the end as well. Okay, so I'm going to start with a sensation body scan. So I'll ask you to close your eyes again, and I just want to remind you that the purpose the whole time is to connect with the felt sensation of the body as opposed to the story. So anytime a story comes up, like, oh, I'm feeling shame because of this, just drop that and say, okay, I'm feeling a heaviness or a tightness in my belly, or I'm feeling lightness in my hands. And I'm going to guide you through different sensations, so you don't need to worry about the language. I want you to just focus on the feeling. So I'm going to start with guiding you through that now. And just remember, any discomfort is completely normal. So it's okay to be with that resistance, to be with that discomfort. But if it gets too much, like I say, you can come out of your body if you need to focus on something outside as an anchor and then come back in. Okay. So please make sure that you keep yourselves at the pace that you feel comfortable with. And like I say, there's that safe get out as well. Once we finish that, we're going to do a little bit of shaking and I'm going to talk you through some EFT as well. So just close down the eyes. You can lie down or stay seated, whichever is more comfortable for you. I don't mind. And I'm just going to guide you into the somatics of your body today. Okay. So I want you to begin by just observing your breath. So, a really simple meditative technique without trying to change anything, simply allowing the breath to flow in and out of your nose. What comes up for you when you do this? Just observing the breath as it is today. Not trying to change anything, just simply allowing the breath to be as it is in this moment. And now, using this same tool and seat of awareness, I want you to pull your awareness into your feet, all the way down into your feet. How are your feet feeling today? Do they feel warm or cold? Tingly or static? Tense or relaxed? And really allow your feet to feel any sensations whatsoever now in this moment. Dropping any stories and allowing ourselves to feel both the lightness and any discomfort, to feel any relaxation as well as any tension, and just allowing it to be beautiful. And then bring your attention up through your legs. How do your legs feel today? Do they feel heavy or light? Warm or cold? Constricted or open? And if none of these words resonate, then ask yourself, which sensation does? Perhaps it's beyond words. Perhaps you just feel what you feel, and there is no need to even label it, or nothing comes to mind. And that's okay too. Just really allow yourself to feel your legs as they are today and deeply come into them. Any sensations at all. And then come up through your womb space, groin. And again, ask your womb, what sensations are you experiencing today? Is there any pain, any lightness? Perhaps there's both. Really allow the body to feel these sensations, relaxing deeper and deeper into your womb space today. And then rising up, out through your womb into your belly, so bravely. It's so brave to explore the sensations in your body without any agenda or any judgment, and simply allow your body to feel what it feels. So brave. So come into the belly now. We hold on to a lot in our bellies. How much can you relax into it and allow your belly to express through any felt sensations? Does your belly feel open or closed, tense or relaxed? Just allow your belly to feel what it feels and focus on all the sensations that you can possibly see and experience. Befriend any discomfort, befriend any pain, and simply allow and wear it like an emblem on your heart. This part of you needs seeing as much as any lightness and joy. So just allow whatever wants to come up, come up. Now, as we spiral up into the heart space, allow your chest to express any sensations that it feels in this moment. What comes up for you when you sit in absolute stillness, when you allow the silence to penetrate your being, your soul? Really imagine spiraling deeply into your heart. And just feel, really feel this area in your chest and your heart. What do you notice? Allow all of it to show itself today. And then rising up through the shoulders, bring the attention into your entire arm space. So trickling down from your shoulders, what do you notice? Any sensations at all? Are they tingly or static? Tense or relaxed? Warm or cold? And pull the energy down into your hands. And again, just notice any sensations, ever so slight, ever so subtle. The more that you befriend these tiny, subtle sensations, the bigger your vessel becomes, the more expansive and resilient you are to any energies, which is sensations that wish to move through you with ease. So as you come into the last point of awareness now in your head, really allow yourself to feel what's in your head. Not in your mind, but in your head. Just sensations, no stories, just feel. Don't try to make sense of any of it. Just allow it as a sensation, as a feeling, as energy to simply be. And in just a moment, I'm going to ask you to start moving your body in any way that feels intuitively right for you. So you can start with slow circles around, almost dancing with the different sensations now, bringing your entire being together as one moving sensation. So I'm just going to start to move my arms in any way that feels right for me. And then if you have space, you can come up onto your feet and you can just start to shake, okay? So just start to shake anything out, okay? And keep the eyes closed or open. You're just shaking as if shaking up a container of energies. Okay? So you can shake on the floor, sitting down, standing up. You can jump up and down, shaking up all of the sensations in your bodies. And then again, just sitting. So we're going to end this practice with allowing the silence after we've shaken, moved a little bit. And just watch as all of the different sensations, the light and the dark, is dancing through your entire being. From this place of allowance, there is nothing that we need to resist, for we see the beauty in all of it, in our pain, in our joy, in our sweetness, in perhaps our bitterness too, because we just allow it to move and transmute into something greater. Okay. So we're just going to spend the last 5 minutes using this silence and our perhaps new states of being, or perhaps shaken up states of being, or our same states of being, but simply with more awareness, to support us in some emotional freedom tapping. I'm going to show you the points as well, so I know this is recorded. You can use this anytime you want. So you can take away this step of using the felt sensations, using the silence, and then you can come into some EFT if that supports you. So I know we're cramming in a lot in this half an hour, but I just want to give you as much as possible with this somatic release. So beautiful. I can feel some of your energies, even if I can't see you all, and it's really beautiful to share this space with you. So thank you. Okay, so EFTP is another somatic release, and we're just going to go through a very short scan just to close the space and to give you a tool you can take away with you. So the points that we're going to use, and these are the traditional points as well, that you can also use for yourself, are here in the cranium. So you can use 2 fingers or you can use all of them really. But using both hands I find is the most effective way. So right in the center of the cranium here is the first point. So you can just practice tapping there. Good, or you can use all your hands too. Yeah. Okay. The next point is just above the eye muscle here. So just above the eye, on the side there. Okay, and these points are from ancient Chinese medicine, as well as acupuncture, and then meridian points of energy. So beneath the eyes here, on the little bone there, is another point. Beneath the nose and above the mouth here. The chin. Underneath the armpit, that's a really good one, believe it or not. And about 5 taps is good if you're practicing on your own on each point, and then the karate chop, which is just there on the hand. Okay. So I will be brief with this as I want you to be on time for the next one, but I will just talk you through the script, which is, even though, and you can just follow me on this, I sometimes have limiting beliefs, I still deeply honor, love, and respect myself. So whatever it is that came up for you, perhaps it was some resistance to pain or some discomfort, or certain areas are quite difficult to be with, you can use EFT to support you. There's also a point there actually beneath the collarbone. But I always say, whatever intuitively comes through for you, if you're feeling perhaps pain in your belly, you can use your hands to physically support you. But really focus on the sensations, as well as using tapping. You can use tapping to support you using that script. So even though, and then you can choose something, I sometimes get lost in my mind, for example, which we all do in the monkey brain, I still deeply honor, love, and respect myself. Okay, so I don't mind just popping that in the chat so that you guys have that as well. So it's even though, and then you can choose something, I still deeply honor, love, and respect myself. Okay. There you go. So I think that brings us to an end for this session. Thank you so much for sharing this space with me. It was really beautiful to introduce you to some somatic healing and guide you through that release. If you have any questions, then you can let me know. And I hope you enjoy the rest of your release and recharge retreat today.